Ever wanted to monitor some devices in your house or wanted to know when they're up or down? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that using a Raspberry Pi and a product called NEMS. NEMS stands for Nagios Enterprise Monitoring Solution. Now, don't be fooled just because it says the word enterprise in it. This can be as complex or as simple as you want it to be. Further on in this video, we take a look at the setup and how to get it to alert you when a device goes up or down. All the products used in this video are in the description below, so feel free to check them out. And at the end of this video, if you have enjoyed it, please leave me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, then leave me a comment in the section below. For now, let's get to it. So let's start by looking at the NEMS website. So the first thing you want to look at is getting the right version. So just to show you one here, there's various different places you can actually host this. There's the Vim 3, the Asus Tinkerboard, Pine64, NanoPi, Odroid, Orange Pi, AWS, and a virtual appliance. So you can actually host this anywhere you want. But for the purpose of our demonstration today, we're going to be doing the Raspberry Pi. So we click on that, and then it shows you some information. So it says what models are supported, what additional accessories are supported, what's not supported, and then at the bottom you can see you can go ahead and download. So it's about a 2 gig download. I've already downloaded it. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually image my Raspberry Pi. So we go to choose OS on here, so we go to our Raspberry Pi imager, and we actually want to use a custom image. So go ahead and choose a custom image, and you can see the NEMS one just here. So we're going to choose the IMG, we choose the SD card, which is what we have plugged in, and then we go ahead and write. It'll ask for a password. So once that's written, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and plug it into our Raspberry Pi, and then we'll go ahead and get set up. Okay, so that's successfully done now, so I'm just going to go plug this into my Raspberry Pi and boot it up. We need to SSH into the device, but I know I've used this IP before, so I'm just going to delete any keys that were there. 10.1.1.184, and then basically we are going to do SSH space NEMS admin at, and we type in the IP address of the Raspberry Pi. So they're going to ask us for the fingerprint, we'll just say yes, and then we're going to type in the password, which is NEMS admin as well. So the username is NEMS admin and the password is also NEMS admin. And there we go, that is it. So you can see the platform it's running on, the current version it's running, the IP address, the uptime, and what the load is currently on the machine, the memory and disk. So the first command you need to run, so actually before I show you the config, if you try and, I'm just going to show you this, so if you try and browse to 10.1.184, which is the IP address, it's basically going to tell you you've not initialized it yet. So it actually tells you what command you need to run. So we just copy that, and then we just go ahead and paste that in here. So we hit enter, and it's going to ask you for the password. So again, same password, NEMS admin, and then we choose our zone, and then time zone, so it's set the time for you, and then we choose our locale. So I'm just going to do all locales for now just to make it easier. Yeah, click OK, and that's going to go off and do the configuration for you. So in terms of setup, there's a couple of bits around the time and the locale settings, and then after that it's going to prompt you for a username and password, and it's really that simple to get set up initially. So there you go. So what would you like your NEMS username to be? So let's go inside wire, set the password, type it in again. Where do you want to send your email notifications to? So you can type in your email address. Okay, and there we go. So that's now set up. It's removed the user, and it's reconnect as inside wire. So if you want to make any changes now, you just need to reconnect to SSH on this account, but we're not doing that at this point. So I'm going to go back to here, You can see this has now changed now, so it's showing what your some usage of your Raspberry Pi. So the main bits we're interested in are at the top up here, so get help. So there's a lot of documentation, community forum support on this, so if you do get stuck you can refer out to those. If you want to help these guys out, there's some bits on there. So let's start with a migrator. Let's type in the username. So for the migrator, you can always have a local backup, so you can just download it, keep a copy of it. If you want to do an offsite backup, you can also do that too. So if you're migrating to a newer version. The system itself, you have Monitrix, you have the cockpit, RPI and Monit service monitor. So we'll quickly run through these and see what they are. So the Monitrix doesn't normally load up straight away, so we may come back to this one. The NEMS, let's just log in here. Don't want to save this. So this basically gives you the information of the unit itself. So if you don't want to SSH into it, you can actually do bits from here. So you've got the system itself, logs, any storage. So it shows you the storage just here, networking. So it shows you what you've got set up. If you want to set up static IP, VLANs, bridges, bonds, etc. Your accounts, services, what services are currently on this machine and what's running. So you can quickly scroll down here. I'm not going to go through all of these because this would turn into a very long video. Any software updates, and last but not least, you have the terminal, so you can do stuff straight from here. So as I mentioned, you don't need to SSH into it, you can do it straight from the web browser. So you also have a dashboard which shows you the CPU usage, memory usage, network usage and disk I/O, so you can always keep an eye on how your Raspberry Pi is doing. Next, we look at, so let me just close that one. So we actually look at the RPI itself, so it gives you a quick overview of the status of it, the version, uptime, CPU, temperature, memory, SD card network, etc, etc. And there's some other bits up here. The Monit service manager just shows you some of the tools that are being run, so MariaDB, Apache, Nagios, Samba, Monitrix, and 9590. So it just shows you all of these, the uptime, how much memory it's using. So if you're seeing something that's been taking up a massive amount of memory, you can see on here, and you'll be able to resolve any issues there. So that was the system. We can then go into reporting. So there's a few different ways you can use this tool. So there's Adagios, mobile UI, TV dashboard, tactical overview, and there's a couple of other ones which I'll open up. So we'll go through these one by one. A lot of these you'll get unauthorized errors, but if you just refresh the page, it will allow you through. So this is a quick status overview of what's going on. So this is the Adagios. You can have all your open problems that are showing you here, all problems, the number of hosts you're monitoring, services, and it shows you what's actually being looked at with these. So there's quite a few in here that you can go through. Let's go to the next one. So let's just paste the username and password. Oops. So this is the mobile dashboard. So you can actually set this up to run on your mobile. So you can actually have a look and it will give you notifications from there. You then have a TV dashboard, so you can actually have this set up on a separate monitor. So it will show you host up, host down, are all your services okay, what's in critical, warning or unknown. Okay, so this basically gives you a bit more of an overview of what's going on. So your host is up, what's happening. So you've got one service which is flapping, which I've taken it up and down a couple of times, so probably will. The next one, let's have a look. So this is the core of the network. So this drives the rest of these dashboards of what's going on. So you can see all along here your host details, service details. So yeah, it's just basically another area for you to have a look at. Nagioviz. This is just a quick overview of what's going on here. Again, it's probably not for your average user, but if you wanted to have a look at it, you could do. And last but not least, these are your graphs. So you can actually add graphs in here. So you can see in the top corner here, you can choose your host. I want to look at the ping, and let's update the graph. So you can see it's showing me pings from January to January. Obviously I've just set this up now, so I have no data here, but if you wanted to go through and look through some of your devices when they went up and down, it can do. So let's close off some of these. Let's keep, so I'm going to keep the TV dashboard open and the Nagios TV open. So let's go back to the server. You have server overview. Let's open that one up. System tools and the configurator. It's going to tell you it's not private because it uses an SSL connection. So let's just, we want to visit the site. And we'll do the same here. Show details, visit site. So the first one is the server overview. So it shows you the IP address, name, what you're running as, what platform you're running on, how many hosts, services, etc, etc. And if you want to order the Pi Watcher, there's some additional accessories you can order for this as well. And then we go into the NEMS server. So this is the system setting tools that you can play around with. So the alias, installing the updates, you can change it to do not install, depending on where you're using this. Probably for your home you can install the updates as they come, but more for an enterprise area you may not wish to do so. Your background images, if you want to blur the background. So if you want to link this to domain access or IPMI credentials, you can do that. Then we look at the cloud services. So if you want to send an offsite backup, you can do it from here and also here as well. So if you're using the cloud service or the migrator, you've got them here. And you've got some notifications that you can set up as well. So speaking of notifications, there are different ways you can be alerted for anything that goes on. So you have the traditional way of sending yourself an email. There's also Telegram. So you can set up Telegram to send you a message if something goes wrong. Push notifications. So for your device you can have push. And there's webhook notifications as well. So you can set up each of these. If there's something you want to see, I can probably set up another video for this. This is just a basic tutorial on how to get it set up and running. TV dashboard, so you can log into the TV dashboard and you can show once their individual notification periods when the issue shows up, or if you want it immediately. The issue with immediately is maybe something might have gone down for like 30 seconds and your notification period is 1 minute. So immediately it means it will come up and it will show you a notification that something's wrong, but sometimes you just want to wait the time for that to happen. Then you have the clock format, so you want so I prefer to have mine like that, so we'll save that. And then we look at the optional services. So if you want the IPI monitor running, the Nagios API and Monitorix. So that's that. So that's very, very quickly me going over all the settings. And now we move to the main thing, so the configurator. So I'm going to show you a very basic ping check. So we have a look here and we can see we have one host already. So we want to add a new host. I'm going to call this my printer, and I believe it's 10.1.1.81. You can choose what it is. So HP printer, generic printer, monitored by default Nagios. It's not host collector itself, you want it monitored 24/7. Host template, we can choose the printer. Available for admins, and parent host is NEMS. So that's pretty much all you really need to fill in here. So we click submit and it says the printer successfully added. Now the only thing you want to add in here is just what you want to monitor. So we want to monitor the ping. So we just do that and click save. Now just because I've made these changes, it hasn't already committed to it. So if I go to the dashboard, there is still only one device here. It's not been committed yet. So I'm just going to add one more host as well. So let's click add. I'm going to add this machine here as well. Wrong IP address. So let's go MacBook Pro. I'm just going to stick it under Linux for now. Linux server, and then we go through the same thing. So default Linux server, admins. If I click it, admins, NEMS, and then click submit. So again, we just want to go down here. We want to check the ping of this. We click save. And then what we want to do from here is we want to generate Nagios config. So in here it's going to go and validate all your settings you've done to see if there's any warnings or errors, and it's quite useful. It does show you everything that does happen if there is an issue, and then we click deploy. And then it will show you everything's okay, copy collector's open, so that's now, so if we go back here we can see we've got 3 different devices. Now you can always edit these at any additional point and show services. So if I click edit, you can see we go back to here, and if I go back to hosts again and if I click on the show services, we go to this screen. So very quick basic setup. If I quickly refresh this page, you can see now we've got hosts up 3 of 3 and service 11 of 11. So, and on the Nagios you can see it's starting to check everything, so that once that's checked that will come back up and everything will be okay from there. So I'm just going to do one thing quickly, sorry. I'm just going to go back to here and I'm going to change, I'm going to go to a host, I'm going to add a host, actually I'm going to change my MacBook Pro. So I'm just going to change this to 10.1.1.77, I don't think that's a used IP on my network, so we just click submit, generate the config file and click deploy. Okay, and then if we go to the TV dashboard, there you go, you can see there's 1 service down, so it's saying your MacBook Pro ping, host unreachable, 19 seconds ago. You may need to give it a few minutes, sometimes it doesn't appear straight away, so just be patient. It is your default checking period, which I think is 1 minute, so you need to just give it a few minutes. And that is the basic setup of NEMS and how you set up an up-down and how you monitor some devices on your network. So that was a really quick and easy setup of the Nagios tool. Now there is a lot more to it, as I mentioned earlier, in terms of configuration. You can start by looking at monitoring actual machines in terms of disk space, CPUs, and anything else you have on your network. Like I said, it is very highly configurable. Now what I touched on was very basic, giving you the up and down status of a machine. If you want to see more in further details, please drop me a comment in the section below and I'll see what I can do. If you've enjoyed this video, do hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos every week, hit that subscribe button too. For now, this is Inside Wire, and I'll see you in the next one.